Let's do this now. Let's jump over to what Ted Wheeler's been doing. This, to me, was one of the most shockingly irresponsible things anyone could ever say in a position of government.
This guy's disgusting.
I believe that Mayor Ted Wheeler is actively trying to incite extreme violence, death, and mayhem.
Agreed.
He tweeted, I kid you not. He said, "This afternoon, I was made aware of concerns within the community that federal agents may be authorized to use live ammunition on demonstrators this evening." Stop.
Wow.
Okay. When people follow or see a retweet, they don't see what follows next. They see that one tweet where he says they're concerned federal agents may be authorized to use live ammo. What's the point of that?
Scaring everybody?
And what do you think a scared person's going to do?
Well, first blame someone.
Well, yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
But if they're intent on going to protest and they're now terrified that the feds may use live ammo.
But it probably won't go then.
I don't think so. I think they'll go. And I think they'll bring their own live ammo.
Ah, okay.
Yes. So I think he's trying to get him scared. You're going to get a bunch of people like, oh man, I better start packing too. That's the point. He wants people to think this escalation is going to happen. It's basically like implanting the idea in people's minds. There's going to be live bullets. It's going to happen. Then he tweets, "Given the deployment of federal agents to other American cities and the clear escalation of the federal government, the information was alarming. I have spoken with the U.S. Attorney of Oregon, Billy Williams, who assures me that the federal government has no plans to use live ammunition on Portlanders tonight, and that such an order would be unlawful. Nevertheless, I am sharing this information publicly out of an abundance of caution."
What?
As if they would actually start shooting these people.
Yeah. They're Americans. Those federal agents inside that building are Americans. They're not trying to kill other Americans. Who are you, Ted Wheeler?
If you plan,
I have some things I'd like to say to this man. And I can't do it on this public platform right now.
If you plan to demonstrate tonight, please be safe. Amazing.
Was he talking to himself?
Apparently.
So he goes out, and that was it for me. Because I don't play these games of like, look, at a certain point, I've talked about the Attorney General of Oregon is suing on behalf of the mob, of the insurrections. So hold on, check this out. There was a leaked court. It's not leaked. It was a court document that showed Operation. Was it called Diligent Valor? Is that it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Operation Diligent Valor.
That's what it's called.
Yeah. I think that's right.
Is that it? Did I get it right?
It's called Diligent Valor.
So there's Operation Legend and Diligent Valor.
Right.
Diligent Valor is the BORTAC, the CBP deployment to protect federal buildings. Legend is just federal law enforcement of a normal capacity assisting law enforcement. So like in Chicago, they're sending FBI, DEA, ATF into their normal offices. They're there already to just assist general law enforcement. So you have this document get released, and I kind of lost my train of thought because I'm thinking about Mayor Ted Wheeler now. So I'm going to go back to that. Otherwise, I'm going to get angry. Ted Wheeler has joined the protests.
Yeah.
This is, as far as I'm concerned, official government joining in, engaging in the insurrection against. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I now remember exactly what the point I was trying to make.
With the Diligent Valor?
The court documents said that the far left breached the courthouse on July 4th.
Okay.
That these people, insurrectionists, entered federal jurisdiction, and that prompted the deployment of these officers to the federal agents to go out and start clearing things out.
Right. They weren't there until they broke into the federal
July 4th,
building. Right.
The 39th day of rioting. Mm-hmm. And so that was the response. If Ted Wheeler stands the police down as police commissioner, which he did, if the AG is suing in defense of the far left, then you have this guy now coming out, the mayor, joining in the riots, lying about it, getting tear gassed, basically assisting in an active insurrection against the federal government.
Yep.
That's how I see it.
I mean, I'm seeing it too.
Now I want to show you this. This is something that Adam noticed. You want to explain?
Yeah, sure.
Because you mentioned this to me, and I was like, no way. And I was like, you got to prove this. Is this true?
Yeah. All right. So last night I was watching. I really try to get as much on the ground reporting as I can. And last night there was a lot of people that were following Ted Wheeler as he went out to the protests. So the first video, people just start throwing stuff at him, dumping trash right in front of him, yelling at him, harassing him. And this continued the entire time that he's walking through this. But they're trying to interview him. He's trying to talk to him. They're like, are you going to defund the police? And he's like, no, not at all. And they're like, and then you hear boos everywhere, and people start screaming, and then you can hear him try to be like, yes, but the feds are the ones that are here. We got to be angry at the feds because they have no right to be here. And they start asking him, and they give their demands, which is get the feds out, let all the protesters free.
We'll do air quotes for protesters.
Yeah,
their words, not yours.
Protesters, their words. For him to. What is that? What did he say?
It's defund the police by 50%.
Yeah, by 50%.
Release all the rioters.
Yeah.
They want feds out of Portland now, and you, Ted Wheeler, must resign.
That's right. Yeah, that was the last one. So I'm seeing it. They're interviewing him, and he's moving through the crowds. He's trying to speak to them all. He's clearly trying to be like, I'm on your side. We got to get these feds out. And then he goes over to the barricade in front of the courthouse, and he's talking to people, and then you see behind him the fireworks.
Well, the camera
the
pans.
mortars. Well, that's in one video, but
Yeah.
in the ones that I was watching, you can see him standing there watching the fireworks go off over him into the courthouse.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so what is he going to say? Like, how is he going to spin this? What's going to happen here? And then sure enough, the federal agents come out and start shooting tear gas.
Well, the best part is they say you when he's doing an interview in front of the barricades, you hear, you are on federal property. You must disperse.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, hold on. You're on federal property, Ted Wheeler. You must disperse. Like,
Right.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's so, he's playing it up like it's a peaceful protest while you can see people are attacking the building.
Mm-hmm.
They're throwing commercial grade fireworks.
Yep.
And he's standing there, and then he gets tear gassed.
And then he gets interviewed, and he's like, man, this tear gas, they have no reason to do any of this. I haven't seen anything all night on why they should be doing this kind of stuff. Oh man, it's so bad.
And then the camera pans.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know if that's the same interview, but he is being interviewed, and the camera pans over from, like, you can see the firework mortars going over the building. And then it pans over to him, and he's being interviewed by a bunch of people.
Like, he's being interviewed, and the camera turns just for some explosions.
Yeah.
Not from the feds. You know what the funny thing is? The flashbangs the feds use are less dangerous than the mortars.
Probably.
Flashbangs are loud and like scary. It's a flash and a sound.
Well, it's because that's what it's meant for.
Right.
A firework mortar is meant to go explode.
And send fireballs in the air.
And that's what it does.
Yeah,
Right.
so those are actually really dangerous. But the craziest thing about the night was this right here.
Yep.
So Adam comes down, and he's like, did you see what happened with Ted Wheeler? And I was like, of course I did. Like, the dude went out, joined in the whatever you want to call it. They're calling it protests. Spare me. They've breached the building more than once, and they are showing up to engage in conflict. It stopped being a protest the minute they threw explosives, and it stopped being a riot the moment they started breaching the building to attack feds.
Right.
Mayor Wheeler wants to get involved in that. Now you got the government's official involvement in insurrection. Fine, whatever. But this was the best part, because Adam, he comes down and he's like,
Yeah, it's the best
he's
part.
like, you see what happened? He's like, Ted Wheeler comes out, does his Potemkin PR stunt, then goes inside the building, and then the police declare a riot.
Yep.
They're not going to declare a riot while he's out there.
Nope.
It'd make him look bad.
Yep.
So I was like, we got to prove this. We got to prove this. So Adam ended up pulling up these tweets from Mike Baker. He's of the New York Times. Check this out. At 3:02 a.m., Wheeler leaves the scene. Protesters throw water bottles at him and curse him. He manages to get inside a building after a scuffle between protesters and a security detail. So you can see here he is right here. He's getting in the building. His security guys like shove out the protesters, like, get out.
Wait. But go to the beginning of that video real quick. Look, keep a little bit further back. Look at that mask wearing skill. He's got it on his chin in the middle of this protest.
He's taking it off because he's like, camera up's done. I'm gonna go inside now. Don't got to wear my mask. I mean, they're filming him.
But then he puts it up. Why?
Someone put a camera in his face.
Probably.
Or he was itching his face. I don't really care.
I just wanted to point that
Check it
out.
out.
That silliness.
It's 3:02 a.m. and he
Yep.
goes inside the building, and they push the protesters out. And a half an hour later, the Portland police, a riot has been declared outside the Justice Center. Disperse to the north and or west. Disperse immediately. Failure to adhere to this order may subject you to the arrest or citation, or riot control agents, including but not limited to tear gas and or impact weapons. Wait, hold on. I thought they weren't allowed to use tear gas. And everyone was saying, the Portland police are already not allowed to use tear gas, and it's the feds who are doing it. As soon as Ted Wheeler goes inside that building,
Yep.
I say as soon as, it was half an hour.
Half an hour later.
But all of this stuff was going on while he was out there. He's the police commissioner.
Yes, he is.
You know what I think happened? He went back inside and went and he walks back inside. He looks around. He goes, "That's a riot. What are you gonna do?"
I bet he was scared the entire time, man. I could see it. He was trying to keep his cool, but he was scared. He came back, like, you can kind of see it when he gets shoved into the building.
Yeah.
The relief that's on his face, like, I am so happy I made it back in here. I'm so happy. Let's declare it a riot because it's getting crazy out there.
Donald Trump, okay, pulled a face down card from his deck and placed it in front of him. With his dual disc on his arm. And then Ted Wheeler walked up and Trump went, "Ha! You just walked into my trap card. It's the best trap card." And then he revealed it, and it was Democrat engages in riot.
Yep.
And now Trump's going to be like, man, there is so much fuel he's gotten from this. I think they actually had at one point, they could have really, as soon as the vans came up and the cops came out and they went with this narrative of unmarked vehicles.
Yeah.
That was powerful PR for the left. But they couldn't help themselves.
Nope.
They couldn't do it. So now Trump is going to come out. As we showed you, the support for Black Lives Matter the opposition to Black Lives Matter is going up because of these riots.
Yep.
So if people don't like riots and Trump is saying, "I'll stop the riots," guess who people will start to support?
Yeah. Well, and the clear bias as what businesses they were taking down. It's like they're out there yelling Black Lives Matter as they're destroying black businesses.
That's just been the case the entire time.
I know. What I mean, and you saw. Can you pull that chart back up? The one that shows.
That's IQ?
Yeah. So you can see right about it's like George Floyd gets killed.
Support's going down,
and then support went up because everybody wanted justice. I still do. We all do. And you know what?
Right.
We were getting it. They were putting forward police reform bills that actually made sense. But then they weren't accepting it. They were like, no, denying it. And then started rioting and just started destroying all these minority businesses.
Here's what's really interesting about this graph. You can see that over the past several months, the amount of people that neither support or oppose was actually slowly ticking upward. So people were watching this and being like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
Now, I got to clarify. That's unsure is unsure. These are people who are saying, yeah, they do some good things, they do some bad things.
Yeah.
So what you were seeing is opposition was going down, right? And support was slowly going up. And they were actually starting to win over the opposition. If opposition goes down and neither support or oppose goes up, it means people that normally were like, I don't like any of that, we're now going, I guess they're okay, but I'm not for or against it, really.
Yeah.
And then they had to riot. And then, whoop, inverted. Worse than it's ever been right now. 13% neither support nor oppose. Going back to May, it was 18.
Oh.
And now...
May of last year.
Of last year.
2019.
Exactly. So 35% oppose it. Now, however, to be fair, going back all the way, 42% opposed. I think Trump's seeing this data. He's been seeing it from the get-go, and he's going, yep. Send in the troops.
Yep.
Send in the cops. Send in law enforcement. We're going to clean this mess up.
I mean, people are getting shot every day. People are getting killed. Little kids are getting shot and killed. Atlanta, Kansas City, New York City, Chicago, all these big cities.
And that's the important thing is that Operation Legend is not diligent valor.
That's correct.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.